Hello everyone, and welcome back to some Guild Wars 2, where it's been about a week since I streamed last, and it is now the Super Adventure Festival, which I am always excited about. But before we get started with the Super Adventure Festival, I want to do a couple of quick things really quickly, where if you are a good reader and can read the title of the screen, and if you are a good listener and can listen to me right now, I am so incredibly congested right now because spring is just annihilating me this year for whatever reason. I think it's partially because I traveled recently, so I got like a lot of stuff from an area that I'm not in too often, in a different climate, and then I came home and it's just destroying me right now. So I am definitely a little congested, but Super Adventure Box is here, which is one of my favorite times of the year because Guild Wars 2 festivals are like my favorite festivals in like any video game, especially like specifically MMOs, which are games that really focus on like the idea of annual festivals. And out of the festivals in Guild Wars 2, it's kind of hard to compare like SAB to the other 5 festivals, and I just got 5 AP there. We'll see why in a moment. But SAB is very different compared to the other festivals that we see in Guild Wars 2, but I think out of like every festival, SAB is just my personal favorite. And of course, Winter's Day is a phenomenal festival, and like Shadow of the Mad King especially. Those two are just like super incredibly popular festivals that people love to do, and they are pretty different compared to like Super Adventure Box, but are still like insanely good, and they're good in their own way. So to like kind of rank them all, they're all like on like the same level, where I do think like the other 3 festivals are maybe like just below those 3, but like Super Adventure Box, just for me personally, it's just like above and beyond my favorite festival in all of Guild Wars 2. Where I'm excited to play through a little bit of that, but there is also something really stupid that I want to do in this stream as well. I do the occasional achievement hunting stream where I will hunt down some achievements and make some progress with getting achievement points, and I recently reached a milestone where there's the 42,000 achievement points reward, and you get like a reward chest every like 500, so you have that milestone like every 500 AP, and then every 5,000 AP is like a pretty big milestone where you get like a significantly bigger reward. But there is another milestone that people really enjoy reaching in Guild Wars 2, and that is of course 42069 AP, which I don't really care too much about like those jokes or those memes, but I feel like I'm obligated as a member of the internet, I guess, to reach that AP, just because it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And then I could probably throw it on the Guild Wars 2 subreddit and get like 20,000 upvotes, so that'll work out well for me. So with Super Adventure Box, we have, of course, the annual achievement, which will give you 50 AP every year, and over the course of 20 years, you can get 1,000 achievement points. And I was doing some math earlier, and I'll double check as I load back onto my main character, which is also the character that I do Super Adventure Box on. And I think I'm very close to reaching that milestone. I did a little bit of Super Adventure Box this morning. I did like my daily and like my run through of everything, so I'm not going to get rewards or too many rewards, but I did not get some of the stuff that you can get, and I'm at 42019 achievement points. So let's enter Super Adventure Box. An incredible festival. And I was thinking about when I want to highlight festivals in Guild Wars 2 in my Let's Play series specifically, because I've talked about this since like the very start of my series, because I think like Shadow of the Mad King happened like right after I started my series. I was on like episode 10 or something, but I think I'm going to start with Festival of the Four Winds, which is coming up pretty soon, and then I'm going to go through all the festivals as they each pop up for like the year, and then in the years following I'll probably like maybe highlight them again with like new stuff and like working on like some other achievements and just having fun every time each festival rolls around. Looking at my annual achievement, if you come to festivals, nostalgia, I need to get 3 more achievements, I think, and then I will get the 50 AP. So I'm going to focus on this first. So let's do maybe Flight of the Bumblepugs, where you can complete the adventure in under 5 minutes. And I always feel like this is kind of a harder adventure to do. I remember my fiance and I went like super hard on the adventure in Road 1 Zone 1, and I think we were both like top 10 or like top 100 at the end of one of the festivals. Let's see if I can remember everything first try. This one's really hard because the race takes you like through. It's my fiance watching right now, actually. He just asked me a question and I'll answer it here because I just started this. The race takes you like through this course, and it like really marks like specifically where you need to go, where the adventure takes you through the same exact like way, but it's not marked, and you can really just pick up the coins in like any order you want. And I think I already messed it up, and it's kind of hard with no mini map. Let's see, I don't think there's a coin here. Oh no, wait, you don't get this one here because we were going to go back that way, so that was like a waste of time. Let's jump here, and then this goes all the way up, right? There's one up here, and then I think we want to go this way now, which is when we pick this up. This might take me 2 tries. It's been a year since I've done this. That jump's always a little hard. This jump like right here is always hard. You have to go on like the bottom part. Uh-oh. I also feel like my brain is lagging slightly. Jump there. Hello, I hope you're doing well. My allergies are kicking my butt a little bit right now, but I'm very, very happy that SAB is around. I get to play it right now. I'll never feel sorry about that. Okay. This is the last one before B-Dogs. I think 32 is right. Is that right? Okay. Down. I have to hit. Oh, no. Okay, I said we have to hit every single one, and then I missed the first one. I haven't played SAB ever. Yeah, it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but it's definitely really worthwhile to check it out once to see if you like it. Jumping puzzles are like slightly controversial. Controversial is the right word. More like some people either really love jumping puzzles or really hate jumping puzzles. And SAB is just jumping puzzles galore. So if you like jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2, SAB is always a good option. And then vice versa. If you hate jumping puzzles, you probably shouldn't even touch this. How hard is it to get to the chess piece? The one that's like Gen 1 or whatever? It's not too hard. I think it's 20 bauble bubbles. And you can get 1 bauble bubble by completing every zone every day, and then if you complete a world you get a bonus bauble bubble at the end of it. So if you complete like every zone that's in the game right now, which takes me like 40 minutes, it would take like I guess a newer player or somebody who doesn't really know where they're going in the zone longer, but 40 minutes for like, well, it would be like 9 bauble bubbles, and then you get some like additional ones just from like unlocking or like from playing through it, that you can convert like the baubles into bauble bubbles, 250 baubles each. But if you've never done SAB, you also have to like spend some of those baubles in order to get like unlocks, in order to like progress through it. Like the big thing is like you need to get the torch. Actually, you don't need that anymore. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have all 5. 25 seconds. So I would say maybe like 3 hours if you're good at jumping and if you're good at like figuring things out, or if you follow a guide. A little bit longer if not. There we go, I got it. Let me double check that it's actually 20 bobble bubbles. A bee, I did transform into a bee. Also Jordan, I do use DaVinci Resolve and I have the pro version. The bee is from like 4 years ago. I think you've done it. Well, actually the bee is technically from like 2012. But the race is from like 4 years ago or something. Okay, so we have the Super Adventure Box Trader, which is this little guy. And then there's an Asuran, or not an Asuran, some hologram in Red Assume, who's like an equivalent in the overworld. And we got Reality Rig Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3, which is 25 bobble bubbles, 8 bobble bubbles, and 16 bobble bubbles each, and then 50 silver, 5 gold, and 5 gold. So you get gold from other stuff. So maybe like just like 3 or 4 days of like running through every zone, and you'd probably have enough bobble bubbles. And then, oh my god, I love Deflahar. That's so cute. Okay, we have the weekly trader here where you can get some gold too with some bobble bubbles. I feel like I always make like 500 gold per festival, but I just go insane on like Super Adventure Box. Let's enter story mode, level 1. I'll do world 1. I'll do a run through just naturally. If I check my annual achievement, I need to do 2 more. I'm gonna get zone runner, and then I need to do like one of the warm-ups. So let's do world 1, zone 1, 2, and 3. And then I can maybe run through it again on like the infantile mode, and then I can do zone 2 and then the zone 3 test world, which I'm really hoping gets expanded one day. Let's see, what do I want to do? Maybe I'll just do like a run through that I would normally do as I do dailies, and I won't do anything too special, but I'll go for all 6 glitches. How about that? There's like so many different things you can do in Super Adventure Box. There's like so many different secrets and mysteries and like hidden areas to discover. And there's so many like bonus optional objectives you can go through. Like so much stuff you can unlock. I've unlocked everything on this character. But I'll do just a normal run through, where I do like my normal attempts at skips anyways. But I'll throw in some glitches, because if you get each glitch, you have a chance to get a weapon skin from it, plus you get like more baubles, which is nice. And the weapon skins are like directly connected to like the zone that you get the glitch in. So like, I don't remember specifically, but like zone 1 you get like the sword, axe, and scepter. I don't know if that's actually the case, but like you get like those 3, and then in zone 2 you get like 3 different ones. So like depending on like the difficulty of the zone, the glitches are like definitely more worthwhile to go for, because like the items you can get are worth more money. So like Road 2 Zone 3 is like above and beyond the hardest glitch to get. So like the weapon skins connected to that zone are in turn worth the most. Unless they changed it this year. But I'm pretty sure it's like the same system. There's that glitch. I already got that one today. I forget which glitches I got. I think I got both of the zone 1 ones, because I just randomly wait for them. I always lag right there. Maybe it's because of like the chasm. hate when it does that. It's supposed to launch you up in the air. Zone 1 complete. I know there was like the intention to have like mini bosses at the end of the zone instead of cages, and I feel like that'd be so fun to have like so many more mini bosses. But of course that takes a lot more development time. And SAB as a whole is kind of like thrown on the back burner. There's something so idyllic about like the first two zones. Feels like Queensdale, you know, kind of classic fantasy vibes of like, you know, green plains and forests. The Elwyn Forest of Super Adventure Box. There's the shortcut worm back there, but I want to go for the glitch. So like you could go grab the glitch and then come back for the shortcut worm. But I feel like it's faster to just continue on from where the glitch is. Plus if you're like new coming through here for the first time, it's always nice to do the zone fully without doing any skips really. I've done so much Super Adventure Box. I think I checked, and I've completed the daily like 165 times or something, which started in like 2015 or whatever. And I did some stuff in like 2013 as well. Here's the glitch. See if I can remember muscle memory. Up here. This one's very tight timing, I think. You have to like go right away. Oh, there's some extra time there. And here, and then I'll just do that. Just to lock it in back this way. If you jump like frame perfectly, you never get hit by the poison in the water. And I like never really practiced it, but if you just like spam jump, you might get lucky and just never get hit. I think that's what I love about SAB so much, is that it brings in kind of those like classic like, you know, retro game vibes, but in like every way, because you know it looks kind of like a classic retro game and it plays like that, but there's like so many like interesting mechanics that you can like use in very unique ways, and oftentimes they don't get patched. But I am eternally sad that they patched out the animation canceling with the slingshot, because that was so nice in so many different areas. But it was overpowered because you never got knocked down in like the rapids or whatever. because of it. There's this glitch chest. No weapon for me. I already did this, but during this wait time I always like to come down here, and there's this furniture shop, and I actually did not check, but I'm guessing the furniture coins are useful for the homestead decorations. I haven't checked the recipes yet. I did go and unlock them from Def Lahar. Which you need like one bubble and convert it to like some baubles and like some silver. Very cheap to unlock. Crafting it, on the other hand, homestead decorations and guild hall decorations are pretty expensive to craft, so I'm assuming it would take a lot. They did add a new kind of area to Super Adventure boxes here. It's very interesting, but I'll go check it out later. I did it once, and you have to do it like 5 times, I think. Or 5 like full times. You have to complete like 10 events in there, and every time you go in there, there's like 2 events, but if you happen to be in partway through, you only get 1 event, I guess. But it's kind of like a dungeon, which is very interesting. But it's like very small, and it feels really random, and like you access it through like the starter zones, so it's like really kind of cool, like a 5-player SAB dungeon, but it's like super easy, which like that's fine. There's like a kind of a unique boss fight in there. I think it's kind of like the equivalent to like Tix's Infinarium or Ascent of Madness, except it gets auto-filled with players. You don't have to create a group for it. I haven't done this glitch yet this year. I used to be really bad at jumping up here, like the first couple of years. This jump especially is hard. There we go. And I always forget, okay, it's over, and then up here. And then it just launches you weird sometimes up here. And then I could just shoot just to lock it in, just in case I happen to fall. Same thing as the previous zone. And then the end of the zone is right over here. Also, sorry about my sniffles. We got Keen Toad. And they've been expanding the armor set, which is cool. Started with like the chest piece and had the 3 different pieces, and of course it introduced a long char to the game. I forgot what the new one was this year. I'll check in a second. We got boots this year. Get this gem. If you can throw 2 jewel shards at any of these toads, you can kill them, which doesn't do anything for you, but it's kind of a fun activity. There we go. I wasn't able to do the Aetherblade Hideout JP for the Master Point. There's no way I can do this. I think you can do World 1 definitely. In SAB, there's 3 difficulty modes. There's the normal one, which I'm doing, and then there's Tribulation, which is basically just like insane and like requires you to like really practice it and like memorize like the route that you have to take, because it basically like takes everything that you see around here and it makes it lethal, so everything can kill you and you just die to everything. And that's just like insane for people who really like that type of content, which I do enjoy it, but I don't do it often anymore. And then the reverse of that is there's infantile mode, which is basically like no jumping, and it's only like the fighting and kind of like the puzzles and stuff. So you can play through in infantile mode, and you can get some bubbles that way. It just takes longer than normal mode. I will say, I think the normal like routes to like beat the levels in SAB is like easier than Aetherblade Hideout, but there's like some other stuff that's like definitely much harder. But yeah, if you're bad at jumping puzzles and whatnot, definitely give like normal mode a try. But if you get frustrated, infantile mode exists to help people through, and you can get rewards and stuff that way as well. Just less rewards. I don't think you can get every achievement in infantile either, but maybe I'm wrong about that. So I played through here. Okay, I think I want, speaking of infantile, let's go ahead and do World 1 in infantile mode again, and then I'll head off to World 2. Because I need to do it, one of the infantile modes or one of the tribulation modes once for the achievement. Because I want my 50 achievement points. So let's just run back into here. And then, so the villager is normal mode, and then we got the sad, angry cloud for tribulation, and then this happy, smiley cloud for infantile mode. Infantile mode may be the best way for me. That chess piece is one of the best non-trench coat chests for medium armor, so clean. Yeah, definitely play through some infantile mode. Oh, we get the cutscene. I always forget. Though I would definitely say try out normal mode. Because, you know, it's always, at least for me, it's always fun to try out like something once. I like to try almost any food item at least one time, because maybe I'll like it. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I go in to like eat or drink that I like know I'm not gonna like, but I want to try it anyways just to see. Like almost every single tea that ever exists. I'm not a big tea person, but I'll try a sip of any tea to see if I like it. And I'll wind up not liking it. But I found like a couple of teas that I enjoy a decent amount, so I guess you'll learn through trial and error that way. But we got a lot of signs everywhere that are just pointing you in the direction that you need to go. So if you're not someone who's good at like puzzle solving or like exploration or whatever, you can just follow this. And then a mild amount of jumping to get a rainbow that will just take you up to here. And then it says to jump here, but you don't really have to. You can then drop down here. Once you go into the shop, I guess so you can learn about shops, but we'll just continue this way. I'm not going to get the glitches because I did that earlier, and I did not get any of those, but I did get a new rainbow skin. So this area has like, what, 8 jumps in it or whatever, but you don't have to make a single one, I guess, except for that one, which is like a pretty easy jump to make. The equivalent is in tribulation mode. All of this is lava, and the flowers like shoot rockets at you. And then there's like an angry cloud right here who will try to like zap you. And there's spikes everywhere. I forgot about the spikes. Yeah, once you like start the animation for the cloud, why am I brain farting right now? The collision that for the like rainbow road that they spawn appears, so you can like start running across it. But that's only really good if you know where the rainbow world spawns, I suppose. Oftentimes it's like in a straight line like that, but then you'll have like additional clouds that will spawn that will be like angled in a different direction, so you can like go around corners and whatnot. So you just have to be conscious about that. Get a few baubles. I think you get a bubble if you haven't completed it yet. I'm not sure. Bubble. I guess infantile mode is called exploration mode now. Oh, you cannot earn bubbles from defeating a boss on exploration mode. But you get 2 every day from the zone's normal mode bosses. And then you get 1 at the end. So you can just really collect like a bunch of baubles while in exploration mode, not infantile mode. And then you can get 1 from completing the world. So that definitely takes a very long time then, I guess, to get bubbles. But definitely doable. But if you're able to practice, World 1 especially is much easier than World 2. So could probably ultimately get through it if you practice a lot. It's Super Adventure Box time. Definitely, it's my favorite time of the year. I don't know if that's true, but it's one of my favorite times of the year. I've been thinking about like what my all-time favorite things in Guild Wars 2 are, and I think Super Adventure Box is definitely like up there. I'll take the shortcut worm this time, which I don't think infantile mode directs you to, or exploration mode. Yeah, it takes you up the tree, but if you do a slightly hard jump here, we got this worm. I love this little guy, or big guy, I guess. This is like amber jungle worm. Just get eaten by the worm. You don't get to bounce around inside of amber jungle worm though, which is probably for the best. For anyone who hasn't seen, there's a lot of Guild Wars 1 stuff going on as well. We have the anniversary event, which I think full-on like started today. Both the official anniversary stuff and then Lorandity's anniversary event, which is really, really fun. Where the official stuff is there's a relatively pretty big update for Guild Wars 1 today, which is exciting. They added some ways to get like some classic like collectors like weapons and stuff, so that people can just enjoy them with where Guild Wars 1 is nowadays. And then they did some changes. I didn't read the full patch notes, but overall it's really, really cool. But they bundled all of Guild Wars 1 together, all 3 of the campaigns plus the expansion Eye of the North, plus the bonus mission packs. And then, oh, there's like another thing. Oh, and you get like a special like pet type thing. I wasn't entirely sure about that. And then you get Zaishin pages, I think is like the technical term, like basically bank tabs. And then you get 2 character slots if you already like own any part of the game. Or you get like the normal 8 that you get with buying Guild Wars in general. And it's all bundled together for like $40, which is pretty good. And it's currently on sale for like 80% off, which makes it $8. Is that math? So I think Guild Wars 1 is like $8 right now for like every piece of content in the game, plus some like additional bonus things. Which is really fun to see, like the Guild Wars 1 like purchasing kind of streamlined. Because like how it was beforehand was, and you can still do this, but you had to buy like the trilogy, and then you had to buy Eye of the North, and then you had to buy like the bonus mission packs. But now you just buy the one thing. Plus you get like a couple bonus goodies too. I love the sound of the clouds. The sound design in SAB as a whole is very, very fun. Plus I love the art style too. We can go to Sad Way and go up. Okay, where does the Sad Way take you? It takes you here. And then there's super scary monkeys. And then it brings you over to this cloud. Which then brings you to the end of the zone, just like the other ones. We have to like drop down there. That's kind of weird. And you can jump there. So like slightly harder. Got King Toad again. I don't think the boss is nerfed at all in Exploration mode. Oh, I'm so slow. There we go. There's Moto's finger there. Grab the Joe Shard, come to the rock, and AFK. But there's also clouds here. This takes you up to here. I feel like you don't get hit by anything. Oh yeah. Oh, it takes you back there. Just so you can avoid stuff, I guess, without having to jump. There's this one right here. Takes you up. Over to that lily pad. Throw this at the toad. Just hit the toad for no reason. Okay, I think that gives me, yeah, this gives me annual warm-up, which does give me a bonus bubble on top of it. Yeah, definitely go check out the Guild Wars category on Twitch, especially since Laura's streaming right now. And if you log into Guild Wars 1, it's very active in pre-searing right now. There's like a ton of districts, and I forgot which arena net dev. There's like multiple devs, like Ruby was hanging out in Laura's chat, which is fun. But one of them said they're having to spin up more servers for Guild Wars 1 because there's such a big influx of players in the game right now. So it's really fun to see the game get some more attention. I like Guild Wars 1, but it's definitely like not my favorite game in the world, but I do enjoy it a lot just because it is like the game that it is, and then I also respect it tremendously because it's just like a really good game. had like a pretty big impact on like, I guess, gaming as a whole. So I think from this you get one bobble bubble in infantile mode, except I've done it already in normal mode so I don't get the bonus. And then you get like a bonus bobble bubble at the start of your adventures from completing each zone at least once in infantile. So you get 2 the first day, and then 1 every day afterwards. So if you're trying to get like the 20 bobble bubble chest item, I guess it would take you like 15 days of doing World 1 in exploration mode. I keep saying infantile and exploration mode. I think it got renamed to exploration mode, but my brain keeps saying infantile. So definitely much longer than I talked about earlier, but you know, pretty easy. But if you're able to do like 25 bobble bubbles, so I guess like 20 days. So basically the whole event if you do it like once a day, I guess. And then you can convert any baubles you get here into a bobble bubble. So I just got an additional one there. But if you're able to practice the normal mode, where Road 1 is much easier than Road 2 for new players. So if you're able to practice like Road 1 at least and complete the normal mode version of the zones every day, it'll go by much faster. You'll get it in like a few days. But I need just 1 more, and I need to complete 3 more zones. So if I complete all Road 2, I will complete my annual achievement. And then I think I'll get like 2 Wizard's Vault stuff as well. Zone Runner and Nostalgia. So I'll get all my Wizard's Vault objectives on day 1 of the festival before reset. Yeah, largely Road 2 is much harder than Road 1. And it's less popular because of it, but I like it more because of it. It's just more interesting, and there's like a lot more secrets and stuff. A lot of like just fun little areas you can find. That's a really good shortcut too if you're able to get like the speed boost and then jump up there. Saves you like a minute of time of dealing with like all the crocodiles. We don't have any like crocs and Guild Wars, do we? Am I forgetting something? The Super Adventure Box are only time we see crocodiles or alligators. The World of Warcraft equivalent is like a crocolisk. So there's no like Guild Wars equivalent, right? I mean, there's like some saurians that kind of resemble them, but Scales and Skilk basically play the role that they would play, like thematically, I guess. But they're kind of like just different in concepts. It's also a really nice thing. Sometimes it's like really weird and janky to set up, but if you're able to position your character on the log ride, or I guess with like anytime there's an assassin that has a sword, not an assassin that has like the star that they throw at you, but if you're able to position your character at the like end of the sword, where there's like a little space between like your model and the end of like the sword model, when the assassin does its like attack where it like jumps at you, like the hitbox is like really weird, and like it will never hit you, and then like the animation distance will go here and here. So he'll just keep bouncing over you over and over. So then you can like scroll Reddit while you're on the log ride. Which the log ride's popular because we were like standing on this like plank, and it looks like it's moving through the world, but in reality the plank is standing still and the entire world is moving around you. That's like the most popular like game design like fun fact that people have about Super Adventure Box. That's how they made that log ride, because you're not moving, everything else is. guess. I really like it when that one launches you up because it saves a lot of time too. Some of them are like really good to like skip over some stuff. Some of them are kind of just whatever. But it's a little annoying when it like bugs a bit. And like just doesn't launch you up at all. I'll go for the glitch here too. I love how this area looks. SAB in general just has a very nice art style. I'm excited to get to this in my Let's Play series, but it's going to be next year. So I have to wait a whole year before I do like a full walkthrough of Super Adventure Walks. Or at least a slow walkthrough, you know. This was really nice if you can get jumped up, because you can just jump over the trees without burning them down. Then, you know, you always die at this part, so then you have to come back through, and then you have to burn the trees because the checkpoint's already received. I've been really struggling with the skip on this one. But this is like a really challenging way to do this. But if you wait for this one, and normally you'd want to wait like 5 minutes for the next one, but if you let this come down, and then if you jump here, clip onto the wall, and then we can jump there. I'm so glad I made it. And I did it earlier. You just fall to the bottom, and then you have to climb up through the bear cage, or like GG and go again. But like you have to make sure you wait a little bit so you don't hit your head on like the third log that's coming. And then you have to make sure you don't get hit by a fish that's going up. I like how the cages in World 1, they'll just like scan where you are and then like shoot you, so you just want to move around a bunch, and it's like pretty easy to avoid if you just like run in a circle around them. But then in World 2, we see them do two different types of attacks. Well, they will either do like 4 attacks on every like straight part of the cage or every angled part of the cage, or they'll do like an attack where they will do like a full spin around the cage and they'll shoot like basically everything around there. So if you stand on the corner, you don't get attacked by any of like the attacks that hit like the straight or angled parts, but you do have to dodge when it does like the big circle AoE where it spins around the entire cage. And then in the Zone 3 test road, the cage will do all 3 types of attacks plus spawn slimes, which I think is fun. So just gets like progressively harder. Now we're in Road 2, Zone 2, and Zone 2 and Zone 3 of Road 2 are much harder than every other zone in the game. Especially if you're trying to go for like the glitches, which I'm doing right now. Especially if you try to complete everything in them. Especially Tribulation mode, these zones are the hardest. no. This part was really nice to have the animation cancel on, because on the last one it like sends you like below the platform, so then you have to do a few jumps. But if you could cancel the animation, you could just jump back up without having to like wait a moment and then jump up these like 2 jumps here that are actually kind of like awkward. But they fixed the animation canceling in Super Adventure Box, so now you just have to jump up. Ultimately you save like 3 seconds of time, but like, you know, 3 seconds of time is nice. This area here is really interesting because if you're coming through the zone for the first time, you are going to want to continue through the zone normally this way, and there's like a mini boss you fight which will unlock the push ability for you, which is important for different parts of Super Adventure Box. But if you come look right here, there's a little shortcut that we can take that will take us directly to the end of the zone and basically save us like a lot of time. But you do have to like go through normally the first time in order to unlock the ability. Plus, since this shortcut takes you like directly to the end of the zone, you miss out on so many different things. But there is the ability to backtrack in some ways. So if we're going for the glitch is through like the longer part of the zone, but the ability to backtrack does exist, and there's a very like special thing that we can do in order to like skip to the end of the zone and then skip some of that backtracking and basically like just be at the glitch. So let's see if I can remember actually. Let's see if I can actually make this jump. Let's come up here, and then this is like a minute of just hanging out, but if you just sleep here, it like lowers your hitbox, I think, so you like never get hit by the birds. But at the end we appear here, and if you're trying to get to the end of the zone, you can just like run along this beam and then drop down there in order to use the push ability to hit the gong. But if you come this way, you can jump here, and then this jump is technically possible without dodge jumping, but it's much easier if you do dodge jump. And then it brings you to here, which you can't normally get up here unless you're up there, and you can only get up there if you take the shortcut eagle. And we can like die or slash GG, and if we check, a bunch of checkpoints have been reached, and it will take us like back over towards there. So this isn't like too much of like a skip, but it's like very nice. But then if you come here, you can come over to this area, which is a very infamous area, but every single one of these portals has like a selected like place that it will take you to, and there's like a chart on the wiki, which I believe if we take this one, it's going to take us like back to the start, or this one, we get a loading screen. So yeah, this is the first one, and if you GG, I think it takes you, maybe it takes you to here actually. So what I just did is kind of useless, but if you then take, I think to this one, and then if you go, is it to this one? Yes, we're at the end. And then let's kill this assassin. This is another massive time save, and if you're able to angle this correctly, you can be launched up from the gate up to here, which is where we're going to want to go in order to get this glitch. If you don't, you have to like jump all the way over here and then take like that trampoline to get up here. So let's try, and I messed it up. So we can go ahead and come this way. Here. And then this jump is a little tricky. Let's try that again. This entire area is really tricky right here in order to progress back through the zone. And there we go. There's a furniture shop in here. Get some furniture coins. And then right here is where we need to go for the glitch, where we drop down to here. And then up to here. And then to there. And we got the glitch. And we have to die. So GG. Or you can jump off. And then we have to progress through the zone normally, how you would do this. But there might be like some interesting way to like get the checkpoint at the end and then jump back this way. I'm not sure. I always forget, can I do that? No. I have to like jump here and then sit still, so I sit still so I don't get knocked off. And then to here. The trampolines don't always launch you up, so it can be very, very weird. If we get to here, and then we have to jump across the clouds before they break, and we have to not get hit by any of the piranhas. And then we're back here. So then we can just jump over this way normally. Up to here. And then up to here. And this is another nice skip. The same idea as like all the other gates, but if you can jump up here, and then if you can run onto this gong here, and then just run around to this side, then we can angle ourselves there, and we can just get to this wooden log that we have to hit without climbing up normally, which opens the door that we need to take. And then you can just be very dramatic with your jump there, and then we can get to the end. Where we have another cage, and I really like this cage location actually, because you get like a sneak peek of the next zone, which is like something you do get with like the other zones as well, but I feel like it's very dramatic here because you can see like the woods that you're heading to at like the end of zone 2 and world 1, the woods in zone 3, but this is much more obvious. Uh-oh. I don't want to die here. And a glitch chest, which I've been very unlucky, and I've done 5 of the glitches today and have not gotten any of the glitch weapons. So there's one more opportunity for us. But of course, World 2 Zone 3 is the hardest of the 6 main zones, and then there is the 7th bonus zone, which I feel like is similar in difficulty to like the World 2 zones, maybe like slightly easier, definitely more difficult than World 1. But more on like the straightforward idea of World 1, so there's not like a ton of like bonus exploration, but there's like a little bit, and it's like really fun bonus exploration. I really enjoy the test zone. I really hope it gets like fleshed out into like a full-on zone with like all of World 3, because I've been really enjoying that test zone the last couple of years. This part up here is where I got stuck in Super Adventure Box in 2013, and I never beat Super Adventure Box because of it, because I don't know, I was like 14 years old or 13 years old, and I didn't really understand like the concept of like getting upgrades and whatnot, and I like really figured out like Super Adventure Box when it came back with like Heart of Thorns. But back in the day, you had to get the torch, and you still need the torch, and you can use the torch in order to burn this, and then you get this checkpoint here. But people really hated it, and it happened to be the thing that like blocked me from like progressing. But then they added this way around, where you can just jump there to get over, which you don't get the checkpoint, but it allows you to progress through the zone without having to get the torch upgrade. And you get the torch upgrade from the shop right there. But you need like bobble bubbles. There's like, I have no idea why I didn't get the torch when I was like a kid. Because I think that's what happened. I don't think I ever completed zone 2 or row 2. I probably had time to go there. I just wasn't feeling it, I guess. Oh, my poor allergies. Can jump in here to skip this entire jumping section. Takes you straight to the top of the mountain. But if you want to do the ooze, you can't take the portal. So you gotta do it the old-fashioned way, which is a lot of jumps. And a lot of hard jumps in tribulation. Tiny trick here, you can just jump into this without having to go onto that other rock there and jumping in. Can I get through? Nice. It's like kind of timed because the like wall will come back, will refreeze, so then you have to burn it again. But if you're fast enough, you can get through it without having to reburn it, which saves you like, you know, 3 seconds of time or whatever. But here we have the biggest decision of our life, where we can either take the happy portal up here and go straight to the end of the zone basically, where we have to fight like a mini boss first. Or we can do basically what we just did, like duration wise, but again. So let's go the hard way. This is like the halfway point between the zone, but they added the way to skip to the end because people didn't like going through the entire zone. And I'm really out of practice in this area, and I'm gonna die, I feel like. But we have a tiny little puzzle here where we just have to light this up. It's not like really that big of a thing. And I'm gonna slash GG because I'm on 1 heart. So, and I need to actually I can never remember. Okay, gotta remember or memorize the flute songs. Banana here. So you can either like hit like these little cracks in the wall, or we can play the flute song, which I just looked at it to see if I can remember. Yeah, 1 3 3 1 3 3, and it'll break it down without you having to jump everywhere. And then we can come into this area, which maybe let's do a little bit of a detour and go into like a fun little area. Which if I double check this, 332 331 is the Gatekeeper's Lullaby. Break this, and if you come like part way into here, and you just play this. I'm not playing this correctly. Okay, let me double check. What is that? I think I'm gonna die actually. Okay, let's kill this banana. Is it here or is it over there? The Power of Mysteries. I think it's over here. Oh, it's here. There we go. This is a really fun little area. Can jump up this way, and then we have like a full-on maze. And I'm going to be completely honest, I do not remember the route through this maze at all. Let's come this way. Let's burn that. Then we can burn this. And those ways are dead ends, but we can come this way. Into this way, I guess. And then I feel like this is going the right direction in my head. There's an apple there for us. Okay. I guess this way. I think there's multiple ways through the maze. If you just like burn everything, you eventually get your way through. But you can also memorize it and get through faster. Okay, this is going back. This is the worst of scenarios. Okay. Back this way. So I guess I like full on took the wrong way through. So I guess maybe there's not multiple ways through. I haven't done this in a while. Come here. I'm just completely lost on there. Okay. Oh, I made it. We can come into this area where there's just a ton of bananas. And I love this so much. The maze is like really kind of funny. And it's like one of those fun things that you can like memorize, or you can just like try to get through on your own. But I feel like this is kind of just like an insane secret where if you have that like little area over there with like all the spikes, and then you have to play the gatekeeper's lullaby song, and it just like randomly opens a door in that like area, and you wouldn't expect that unless you did the what's the secret song where it like shows you secrets. So you just run around the box and play the secret song. You can find that there's a gate there, and you can play the gatekeeper lullaby song, and it brings you up into this place where you have this like really weird random maze that's like kind of challenging, but then it brings you to this banana area where you can just fight a ton of bananas. And I just find the banana models like really fun. They're doing like the peanut butter jelly time dance, of course, which is kind of funny. They throw ice cream at you. And I heard that there was going to be a special secret banana boss up here that's like basically a giant banana that would like do like something more advanced that you would have to fight up here as well. But then it got cut because that takes step time, of course. Which I feel like that would have been so cool. But I do love seeing all the bananas here. And you can fight all of them to unlock a secret, of course. So let's just deal with all of them. They do freeze you, which is a little annoying. Five more left to go. I heard the plan for like the final upgrade is like a fiery dragon sword, but in the Super Adventure Box, or like something like that. Some sort of sword. And I'm excited to see if that ever gets added. We did get the bow upgrade from the test zone, which is fun. We hadn't gotten an upgrade in a long time since then. There we go. Oh, we also got the bauble like bag upgrade. But then once we come into here, we learn 133 and 133, which is the Shatter Serenade song, which I did earlier. It was just like a really fun little area. It's like a secret little spot with just a ton of bananas, which I always find really cool. But if you want to get out of here, we can just /GG. Or we could run through the maze. We could do that. But this takes us back into the... This is kind of a maze too. And here, let's kill the banana. Where we have another one of those puzzles that we did earlier where you step on the pressure plates, but it's a lot more dramatic. And this one is just insane because there's like so many of them. And the way that you normally do this, which I never do because I just never bothered to memorize it, is you want to activate certain ones and you want to let the goats do all of the other ones. I forget. Because the goats hit some of them. You want to follow this one maybe. Yeah, I'm messing this up pretty bad. Hit that one. I never memorized it, as you can tell. Maybe let you do that. Uh-oh. Wait, hit. Nice. We got it. I almost messed that up, but I got it. Just gotta be quick at the end before the goats hit any of them. Another banana. Some people find this part super annoying. Oh yeah, with the bomb, if you like start the animation for it and then jump, you can get some like extra height and distance with it, which is useful in some situations. I got hit. Don't knock me down. Okay. You could theoretically be super unlucky and just get knocked all the way down, but that's kind of improbable. I like to dodge into like the TNT barrels because you don't get hit by them if you do that, and then it breaks them, so then you don't have to worry about them. Because you can try to like shoot them from afar, which is like a good way to deal with them. But I feel like it's easier to just dodge into them. One of the most insane secrets in Super Adventure Box is right in this area, but I don't want to deal with that right now. Let's come up here, especially since I don't need it. I talked about it previously, I think. If we come this way, we just passed the glitch, but we cannot get to it right now. We come up this way. And then I think you can jump straight forward. This felt safer to me. This entire area is pretty chaotic. There's like a lot of stuff going on here, and like you have to do like a lot of different things to progress through here. But if you learn the songs, we come to here. First things first is we can play the Gatekeeper song, and then we can come into here. With the teleporters, the ones that have like the pixels going in will teleport you elsewhere, and the ones that have the pixels coming out are like the teleporters that take you to like this spot. So you can't enter this teleporter because it's an exit one, but this is an entry one, and this takes us to the glitch, which we can actually open this, and this serves as like a checkpoint basically, because the gate is right there. So instead of jumping on all those clouds, we can just come back into here and then use this portal to get right to where we were earlier, which is very nice. But they also added the glitch into here afterwards, and we need to not be so bad at the game. Let's start this again. Hit that, throw it where it can be angled to throw it. Do that again. Which I guess I went a little too early there. And then the glitch is here, and we just got that. So then we can come into the entry one to come to the exit one here. And then we have this entire area that we can do now. Or we can do the Shatter Serenade song, which, let's see if I remember what it is. 113, 113, right? Or is it 133, 133? Oh my gosh, what is it? Oh, it's 133, 133. There we go. And then we can jump up here, I don't know why I can never remember. And then up to this place. And okay. This is very unfortunate for me. This hasn't happened to me in a long time. Should I just GG here? Maybe I should. Could also just jump off. Let's use this checkpoint in action. You just jump up to here. And then you have to take the right one in both of the meetings. And then here we are. Let's try this again. Let's kill this banana. Because he already loose since. And then let's wait for them to do their wind thing. And then if you pause right here, the spot is safe. And we can wait for that. And then we get to the spot that you end up at if you take the shorter route through the happy teleporter instead of the angry teleporter. We're gonna fight this Yeti, which is basically like a big polar bear boss. But he also has like the big snowball things that roll down the mountain like we just saw. Kill him there. And then we can fight the boss, the Storm Wizard. Some people call this boss much better than Zaitan. Cause like this is a like big boss fight that came out like right after Zaitan. Wow, I'm failing. Right after Zaitan was like released, like basically 13 months later, and it's like a big dragon fight. And people find it more engaging than Zaitan itself. I like to get him to like 60% health and then do the push and hope he moves far, because then you can use the elite skill and then hit him a bunch of times and he'll go into like phase 2 at like 20% health. Let's see if I can remember this. I think if you come to like right here, if you like stand right here, you can kind of skip fighting the things here. I think I did it wrong. Maybe I did it right. When he goes down, he picks which platform he's going to break. So then if you just sit on one, wait for him to go down, and then come over, you can just completely avoid him. I think the lightning balls hit you here. I think it only works on like the first one because you can like basically like be off the platform. Maybe it works in every single time. But since he's burning, let's come to this platform, wait for him to dip down and pick this platform to attack. if you're playing with multiple people, you'd probably want everyone on one platform, but you can also just like play like Russian roulette, I guess, and have everyone pick a different platform and then just sit on that platform, and then the dragon will kill one of you and you're the unlucky one, or you can all try to avoid him. Glitched weapon? Nope, just a continue coin. So I got all 6 glitches today and no glitched weapon for me, which is okay. But I did get a second super rainbow cloud weapons locker, which is fun. These skins are really cool. Here's the staff skin if you haven't seen. But like the rainbow is animated. This is very, very cool looking. If you preview this, where's the great sword? Super cool. Like it's very super adventure box. It's like, you know, pixelated and stuff. And it, like a lot of people complain about like SAB skins because it's like out of place, but like once an MMO is like over 10 years old, I don't know. I don't care too much about out of place things because inevitably you're going to get like some interesting skins. And Guild Wars 2 is at that point nowadays. And I feel like nothing is like too bad except for like some Sky Scales, but I completed my annual achievements, so I got the powered boot box. But with that, I get what I'm told is a massive milestone for every achievement hunter in Guild Wars 2, and that is 42069 achievement points. So for those of me who really wanted to reach that milestone, there you go. I hope you're happy. Next milestone is 42,500. But I guess I'll post it because I feel obligated to as a member of the achievement community, I suppose. Once you reach 40k AP, you join a special club, and that club is now getting devalued because there's the 50k AP club that's growing more and more members. Let's come out here. Let's go to my Guild Wars 2 screenshots. Let me just tab out for a second. Edit this. Oh, classic paint. How do you crop? Wait, I don't want to use classic paint for this. Paint 3D, which no longer exists. Can I just... I feel like I've forgotten how to function as an adult with a computer. Oh, there's the button. Okay. I know what I'm doing. I just do that and then important milestone. Okay, well that shenanigans is halfway done. Guess I'll go to Reddit. I saw one of these posts like a week ago. I want not that link. What's that? Title. What should I title this? Yeah, this is definitely fluff. Okay. It's funny the GoToShoe subreddit still has an esports tag. Well, I guess like my DT pod stuff is technically esports, but I feel like there hasn't been GoToShoe esports since like 2015. Do we count Race to World First as an esport? Okay, I posted that. This is one of the most common posts on the GoToShoe subreddit, so whatever. Okay, done with that. We can gaze upon our achievements with annual nostalgia unlocked, which I've done 7 times, so I only have 13 years to go to get all 1,000 of these AP from Super Adventure Box. But that is all of Road 1 and Road 2, where we do have the Road 3 test zone that we can play through. And I think there's only one new achievement that has been added to the game, and it's in a separate thing. So let's go through the test zone real quick, and then I will go and check out the new thing, which you have to do like 5 times or whatever. Potion cart merchant. Has this always been here? Wait, let's check the game update notes. Oh, I'm so sorry about the Windows sound. Okay, it looks like this has been here. I guess I'm just not super observant. Oh, I completed my 2 achievements there, so I get some Astro Claim. New weekly's out, which I haven't done at all yet. Specs Laboratory, I love that jumping puzzle. Okay, that jumping puzzle actually is like a really, really good jumping puzzle from like a design standpoint, because I feel like it really teaches players movement if you like take the time to like learn Specs Laboratory and like complete that jumping puzzle. I feel like that's a good prerequisite for like Super Adventure Box, because the jumps are like pretty straightforward. There's nothing too challenging. There's only like 1 slightly challenging, or I guess technically 2 slightly challenging jumps between like the 5th and 6th checkpoint or whatever. I cannot speak right now. But largely they're all like pretty simple and straightforward, but it's timed. So while it's easy jumps, you have to like be able to jump consecutively, which is like really nice to learn because it really helps with like improving your flow with like Guild Wars 2's gameplay and like every aspect of the game, I feel like. Because like Guild Wars 2's like combat really flows together. But, like some people can be very like choppy with it when they're like new to the game, and I feel like that provides you an opportunity to like really practice just like moving elegantly, I suppose. Because you have to learn how to keep like multitask, I guess. You gotta run and jump at the same time over and over and over again. Which like you don't necessarily need those skills in like Super Adventure Box, but like learning those skills will make Super Adventure Box much, much, much easier. I just lost 6 viewers talking about Specs Laboratory. I guess it's a less popular jumping puzzle than I thought. Let's jump up here. I just love this test zone a lot. I think I mostly love it because it's just new, and it's like 3 years old now. I guess technically like 2 years old, but 3 festivals old. But I really hope we get to see more in the future. It was nice to see a tiny little area added. This area, I always just run through it. Can be a little fancy and you could come on the outside. So we gotta dodge when he laughs because he does like the spinny thing, and then he'll target us like in the World 1 ones. And then we want to try to stay on like the corner of like the evens and the even sides and the angled sides. We can just move a little bit. And then of course the oozes spawn. So we have to deal with them. We can use our elite skill here to get some extra damage. He laughs again. So evade that. And we get 50 marbles. And then we can wait a few seconds to be teleported back to the start. Which you do want to do, because it only counts as completing the zone once this warp timer is done. So you want to make sure you don't leave early. Plus, it takes you to like the next zone if there's another zone left in your world. This will just take us back to the hub because there's not a next zone to go to in this world. And there's everything we have in Super Adventure Box right now. But I do want to go check out the new little area that they added. I did it a little bit earlier, but we can do it here now and again. I'm just stretching. Well, that's a good stretch. Let's go back to Radissoon. Okay, so you basically have to go to any of the starting zones. I like the Savari starting zone. It doesn't matter though, because in each like little starting area, or right at like the first waypoint of every zone, where you like first appear when you create a character, and the waypoints that are unlocked for everybody, you have this remote portal to Super Ooze Kitchen. We have Moto hanging out right here. Educators and offspring across the world requested remote access to the Super Adventure Box. Help test remote access now in the Super Adventure Box Ooze Kitchen. How can I help? Step through this remote portal and dive into culinary organic alchemy in the Ooze Kitchen. If we can teach progenies about organic alchemy today, someday they may just save the world. What ingredients will we experiment with? Lots of oozes. Aside from being a traditional Asuran ingredient, they are also a beloved Super Adventure Box character from areas under development. I agree. Can you compensate me for testing these remote portals? Of course. After appropriate testing, you'll win a safe and educational miniature version of my deadly new yellow ooze. How are you here? Each remote portal includes a holographic echo of the Super Adventure Box's creator, Moto. More Moto, more learning is our credo. Okay, let's go ahead and enter. I'm ready. So this is kind of just like a new dungeon in a way, where this is a piece of 5-player content, but you don't have to create a group for it. You can just hop in. And it's basically 2 parts. There's like 2 events, and you're working together as a team to do this, and you don't really have to like work together like too much. Where this feels very similar to like the bonus area at the end of World 2 when you like drop down after fighting the Storm Wizard. But we got players around here, and then we have oozes that are going to spawn. And we have the green oozes that we are very familiar with from like the World 3 test zone, and then we also see like the ooze farmers in like World 1 and World 2, and then there's blue oozes, which I feel like have been in Super Adventure Box. I don't really remember them, but maybe they're new. I don't know why I'm forgetting about them, but they will just like freeze you, which is like a really interesting kind of mechanic. And then there's a new special yellow ooze, including a yellow ooze mini boss, which we have to basically fight the green oozes, and then they will spawn some ooze dough, similar to the idea that we see with like the ooze farmers in World 1 and World 2, where we just kill the ooze and then we can pick the ooze up, and maybe they like damage you after a little bit of time, but we bring them back to the oven, and as a team of 5 players, we have to get this green bar all the way full, and then it will spawn a yellow ooze boss for us to fight. And it's kind of fun to see, like, this is really, really easy, and I feel like it would have been fun if it was like a little bit harder, I guess. But I think the intention is for it to be easy. But I just love having like this feels like thematically and structurally like a dungeon to me, in the same sense that like Ascent of Madness is a dungeon. Like Ascent of Madness is like 3 minutes long, but it's still like a piece of like instance content basically that you do with like other players. You could solo it. You could solo this, but it autofills, so I don't think you ever really will. The yellow oozes are cool because they like leap around like super far and they deal like a ton of damage where they land. As we get the oven full, just a couple more oozes. Help this guy out. I like the little doors and how there's like the oozes in there. There we go. Can watch the oven. And now we have to mince the yellow cake ooze. That was a fun soundtrack. So it's like main mechanic is, oh, he's going to like jump around 3 times, and he's going to deal like a ton of damage as he does that. So there's 1, and you hit like somebody in between. So there's 2, and then there's 3, and then we have like an opportunity where we can hit him like a bunch of times for like 5 seconds or whatever. And then he's doing it again. And then he does a big bounce where it's like a massive like circle. I feel like this starts at like 50% or something. But now he's doing like the 3 ones again. And then we can kill him. Very, very easy. And you can get some baubles. This chest like spawns, and I don't think you really get anything from the chest itself. It just spawns baubles. And then we can either take the portal back to the start, or we can go to Super Adventure Box. So I'll go back to the start, and we can run back in here, I guess. Do it again. Oh, let's get down here and help. Let's fight this yellow ooze. I have this. Somebody asked me a question on Reddit. This is like the only Heart of Thorns achievement I don't have. So if you die, you like spawn back up here. So this one was kind of nice because we joined in at like the end, so we just got credit for the event. But it would be annoying if you joined in like during the fight here. I see he just randomly does like the big one too. Maybe he just picks one of the 2 types of abilities. I mean, they're basically like the same type of ability, but they're just like slightly different. This is like a rapid fire attack, where the other one's like a big explosion. And there we go. Get our bubbles, I suppose. And then, why not? Let's do it again. I think I have to do it 2 more times. Because you have to do 10 events, which is 5 playthroughs. And I did one earlier and I did 2 just now. And then you get the mini super yellow ooze, which is fun. I do like how this is kind of just like a mini you get in like a super unique way. I love that. I always love rewards that are like super unique. Which like Guilty Suit does a really good job at. You get that continuously. This is just another example. I will say, I don't think there's much of a point to come here. I guess you'd get like 1 bubble a day by doing this. So I guess that's a nice way to like pad it out, because you don't really have to do jumping for this. So if you're trying to get some of the items, like the chest skin we were talking about like an hour ago, this can help you. More of a combat focused instead of a jumping focused little activity. I like how the blue uses like freeze you. Yeah, the small yellow uses do like the same thing as like the big boss use, but it's like, this one's like purple. It's kind of funny. But it's like much less dramatic because it's like a smaller ooze, you know. Mince the yellow cake ooze. I'm like partially tabbed out right now. Let's use our elite skill. And we completed that. I'll just tab out for a second. I remember I got a comment a long time ago that I should respond to, over a year ago. I remember the weirdest things. I remember there's one comment on a Reddit post I got over a year ago that I should respond to now after my accomplishments today. Okay, there we go. Let's run out. I think we can just run back in here. I don't think we have to run out, actually. I don't know why I did that. Some of the portals can be really finicky. The ones in SAB are like the dungeon portals where it's like proximity based. But I think this is the last run through I have. Yeah, 8 out of 10. And I'll get 1 achievement point, so take one last look at the 42069 AP, and I'm kind of glad it's going to be gone in a second. But I got my screenshot, and it's on tape, so. Allegedly one of the most important milestones in Guild Wars 2. just sprinting away. It's kind of just an interesting, like, lore thing, I feel like. Like, we're getting, like, cookie dough or whatever, ooze dough, in order to bake a cake that spawns, like, a bigger ooze. We're almost done. There we go. I put in the last one. That's kind of fitting. For the last one that I need for the achievement. One last look. 27,069 permanent achievement points. That's kind of fun. Oops. I just wasted my elite skill. Super Ooze Baker. 1 achievement point. And we get the mini super yellow ooze. Let's grab these baubles. Take a look at this preview. It's so big. Very cool. 1 new mini unlock that I'll never look at again. But it feels nice to unlock something. I'll just take the portal to SAB this time. And then I got this stuff. Oh, I got the powered boots box. I haven't even looked at it, and I think I need to run outside to look at it properly. So, what do we got? Super Rainbow Cloud. I unlocked the staff earlier. Let's get... What's a spear look like? That's fun. But I always unlock the great sword. Which I meant to click on the great sword earlier, but I apparently clicked on the staff. But we can get this. Because I always like to unlock great swords, swords, and shields. It's like the first skins I get for like any skin set, unless I'm just like unlocking everything right away, then I'll just pick like the axe first. Then the powered boots, look at that, which is very cool. I can preview this. Those are nice. Like, it does not fit in with like my build at all, but like that could definitely fit into like some other builds. Which actually, we've unlocked a bunch of these now. What have we unlocked? Not the helmet, but we got shoulders. We do have the chest. Let's pick just both of them. Reality. Maybe the Mark 3. So we still need pants and a helmet. But that looks pretty cool. I like these like big special sets, especially the Lunar New Year one. I'm so excited to continue getting items for that armor set with like transforming into a dragon. That's so cool. Yeah, reality rig and then glove shoulders, and we just got the boots. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Yeah, I'm at 42,070 achievement points now. Now I just got 1 more achievement point. So my next big milestone is 42,500. But of course, I'm always on the quest for like more AP in general. And I'm definitely wanting to get to 50,000 achievement points one day. Which hopefully I will. And it's achievable now. They finally added enough AP for it. But I think I want to mess around with Tribulation for a little bit. Not necessarily like completing a bunch of stuff, but maybe just like spend 15 minutes in there just to re-experience it a little bit. And then I might log off and go do some other stuff. But it's fun to play through some Super Adventure Box in general. It's just so much fun. I always complete like... Oh, my poor allergies. I always complete like every zone every day that I can. And the daily every day that I can as well. I miss some days, of course, but... Let's go Tribulation. Zone 1? Why not? Which right away, at the start of Zone 1, it looks very, very, very different. As you can see, these spikes here, and of course the spikes will instantly kill you. And then we can try to jump over the spikes, but we get blocked. And we actually didn't die there because we're invulnerable for whatever reason. But these clouds appear and they say, no, you can't go there. And then this boulder is like launching you and like knocking you down, and then the spikes instantly kill you. So I haven't done this in a long time, but let's see what I remember based on memory from when I did a ton of Tribulation like 4 or 5 years ago. I do come through like this zone every now and then to play with friends to show them Tribulation, because it can definitely be really, really, really funny to play Tribulation with friends. I think if you come here and then which one is it? 2? Okay, so we do get like extra checkpoints in Tribulation, which is very nice. Of course, the sun is always upset. But let's go this way. I can never remember everything. But I think we go here and then we dodge that. We go up here. Is there lava right here? I think we can jump here. Avoid that rocket launching at us. And then one of these, yeah. The flower explodes. One of the flowers next to the monkey explodes. You can just brute force this. You definitely want to get the infinite continue coin on the gem store if you're ever going to do Tribulation. Which one blows up? Do none of them blow up? That one blows up. Okay. I just want to clear the path because we're going to come through here again. I guess it's not really necessary. The next bit is a little easy. I'll just deal with the monkeys as we go. I think ultimately it's not necessarily like too much more difficult than like SAB normally. It just requires a lot of learning. So if you can like follow a guide or like really remember where you need to go, and if you have patience to like die over and over. There's like spikes on like right there. Shoot, I was trying to get the bobble. So we have to be careful of those spikes. I feel like the hardest part in the zone is what we're about to experience, and I don't know why. Oh, the canyon is really hard in Tribulation. I remember that. Oh, I think I might have come through here last year actually. Didn't I make a video that highlighted a place here? Come up here carefully. Quickly unlock the checkpoint before we do anything else. And then these jumps are pretty difficult. A little technical. Get up here and then over to here. And then some of these flowers kill you. Let's hope none of them do. You get up here, and then you have to come up here, right? And we have to like strafe jump and do another strafe jump, and then you have to jump here, and I always mess that one up, but I did it. And then it's like here, right? I can't remember. And then this jump is really hard. We have to like strafe and hug, and we have to get through here quickly. Okay. So that wasn't too bad actually. And I unlocked that checkpoint. This monkey is going to be painful now. Okay. So for this, they all deal or knock you back, but if you can get through it quickly, it's not too bad. But then this one, you want to like dodge into it, right? Nice. This one, you can dodge into it. And then, oh no. Okay, wait. We have to wait somewhere for the dodge roll to recharge. Okay. Sometimes I get knocked by these prematurely, like that. You just have to be quick. You can do like the dodge thing, but you can also just run past them if you're fast enough. So up to there. Oh, that's bad. There. Okay. Then maybe I... Oh! We could do that. Okay. Into here, dodge. Into here, dodge. And then we have to come down here. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay. I made it to the checkpoint. That's fine. Okay. I think it's here, right? And then you jump to here. And then you have to, like, make it all the way there. And then this part, you have to, like, wait for the bee dogs, right? Because they, like, open some of these flowers. But, oh, we have to go up more first. Okay. Onto there, there, and then there. And then up to here, and then we jump to that. And then onto here, and then here? I can never remember. I think that is death. But I cannot remember. And then we have the tribulation cloud that's just ignore you. And let's come out this way. And I can never remember where traps are here. But let's come up this way. I think, yeah, that trap's visible. So then if you come up, oh, okay, here. Okay, the cloud is following us. There's traps there, I forgot about them. Okay, let's come through this area again. I do enjoy the music. I love the boom boxes you can get from SAB and just play SAB music around and about Terraria. Let's get past here. Okay, so the maze is much easier than I remember. There's just like the one tricky jump right here, and then there's like the three right here that you have to be careful of. And then can jump up to here, which then takes we want to grab. Oh, I completely forgot. We have to pick up a balloon from the other side of the tribulation cloud and then bring it this way. Also, is this like a cheat? So we can activate this. I feel like they didn't go back into tribulation mode to like make this more challenging, so I think we can just skip a bunch of stuff. And honestly, maybe we don't even need the balloon, because I think, oh, is there anything scary? But that's like a nice little shortcut, I guess. Okay, I think this, let's just get the checkpoint. Okay, that's all that matters. There's spikes there, of course there are. Okay, jump there, and then the barrel explodes. I forgot about that. I'm surprised the barrel didn't explode earlier. Okay, now we can go here, and then I think here, and then I'm trying to remember. I think we can jump to there, And then I meant to dodge there. But I think all of these will basically like attack you. So we have to brute force this a few times. I have to make that jump every time you brute force it. And actually, let's mess around for a second. Let's try to remember. Is there lava here? Yes, there is. Just fall through the floor into the lava. Okay, so making those jumps is definitely the smart thing to do. Oh no. Okay, into there, and then jump to there. Let's kill some of these guys. Just to clear up the area a little bit. Okay, and then jump to here. And then I think we have to like... Okay, so that's 3 of them easily done with. But there's, yeah, there's spikes there. And I think there's spikes on the wall right where we have to jump, so we have to like be really careful with our jumps there. Okay, so here, oh, and then up to there, and then there, and then there, and then there. And then, can you like attack me? Okay. I don't remember where the spikes are. Okay, there's some there. Oh, we have to like go around the other way. I just unlocked a memory. You know when like you completely forget about something and then it just appears in your brain? I think we have to go around the left side of the mountain. Unless that's fake, and then that's a fake memory that was implanted. Jump up here. Okay. So we have to come to here, be careful here, and then... Oh, I messed that up a little. Okay. Over, over, up and over, and over. Okay. To there, to here. Okay, carefully. Okay, and then we come to here. Okay, I don't remember what's next. I remember this jump's like a little tricky, right? To get to here, and then up to here, and then checkpoint. Very nice. And we're at the end of the zone. But I remember the secret shop this way. I don't fully remember where exactly we're supposed to drop down. I can't really cheese it like this, can I? No. Okay, let's drop. Oh, I guess we drop down to here. Carefully drop down to there, and then over to here. I love this area so much. It's so cool. And then down to here. Just completely surrounded by fire, but we can get some furniture coins. Can break this for some baubles, I guess. But very, 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 very fun. Okay. We can try to go back out the normal way, but I might just GG here. And then we're at the end of the zone. And I know the boss is like supposed to be like more challenging or something. I don't really remember. Let's just stand here. Hit it a few times. Let's do that. See how much damage he does when he attacks you. If he attacks me. I've done half the damage to him and he hasn't attacked me yet. Okay, how much? Oh, just 1 heart. That's like the same as normal one. Explorable. And then we can get many baubles. And that is World 1, Zone 1, and Tribulation Mode completed. The easiest of the 6. I'm surprised how much I remembered. But this is the one that I remember the most out of the 6, to be fair. I like the Choi miner up there. The crystal. So I'll just wait for my little reward where you get like the token that you can use to make like the weapon skins or whatever. Or you can trade them for like some baubles, I think. So I'll do that because I have all the weapon skins. They did add a new way to get the infusions from those collections if you've already unlocked them. So you can get additional ones now, which people have been wanting for a very long time, which is nice to see. Because you used to be able to get one of each. And then I think there was like some exploit that like some people use to get more, which is like an exploit and not okay. But now you can officially and properly get some additional ones, but they're kind of expensive. Let's come back here. So much stuff. Okay. Yeah, here 32 globs, and 64 gold, and 32 bobble bubbles. So like not that bad. But I have 2 of these. And one of those. I think you get a choice from something. Super supplies. But I need to talk to the weaponsmith. Do I talk to the weaponsmith? Or is it over here? Oh yeah, it's right here. 16 baubles for one of those tokens. And then I have these continue coins, which I have the infinite continue coins, so I just get some more baubles that way. And then let's get 4 of these. So I have 36 baubles left, but 262 bauble bubbles. Which I don't think they added any like new things to buy, right? Super mixed parfait. You can get the infusions now, I guess. But I already have some. And I got everything from Deft Lahar. So let's talk to Sparking Stone, because we could buy some of the retro forged weapons, which I heard the new spear is ridiculously big. That is what on earth? That's so big. That's massive. That was really cool though. That's a nice spear skin for like SAB theming and whatnot. But the weekly trader. So we could get Trader's Golden Buster weapons, which I have some of these from past years. Oh, I never got the greatsword. Wish I was collecting like every single SAB skin, but some of them were just like kind of weird to get now. But we can get one of each every week now, which maybe I should do that. I almost have every single one from this one, so I guess I'll cave and buy them. And then transmutation charge, kind of useless. Mystic coins, these are very nice. Buy some of those. The amalgamated draconic lodestone, incredible. I'll take some of you. I'll take some gemstones as well. And I do like to get the Tyrian exchange voucher. Let's come back to Radissoon, sell some stuff. So I wonder if they're just adding like a new special like weekly one every year, and then you can get like some cheaper ones if you complete them in the year they're introduced, and then you just have to buy them back from the vendor. I don't know. I do like getting like a lot of new weapon sets and stuff, but I feel like that's a lot for like a festival. That's around every year, like 3 weeks every year. Okay. Let's open this. Can get the Golden Buster Greatsword. I should check the skin sets. Generation 1, I have the Greatsword. I don't have the focus, so I guess I'll get the focus. Throw that there. I come to the bank. Wardrobe storage, look at weapon skins. Golem. What's it called? Golem Buster with a dash. So I still need a lot. So that's like a few years of SAB for that. But the Generation 1 one, I feel like I'm pretty close to completing. Yeah, I need 5 more. So I'll have that done next year, I guess. Can do a little gamble. Let's open my Mystic Forge. Let's throw 3 of these skins in here with a Mystic Forge Stone. See what we get. Shaman's Etched Avenger of Accuracy. A nice basic skin. I do enjoy that, but we can sell this for 75 silver. It's actually, you know, better than some of the alternatives. But then Amalgamated Draconic Lodestone, that's 37.5 gold. Gemstone, a little under 4 gold. Mr. Coins, a little under 6 gold. And then I have the exchange voucher that I can add to my stack, because I do like to just get like have these on hand if I need like a bunch of materials. Which I do have like some stuff that I can spend at that one vendor in like the Wizard's Tower or whatever. And then I have a ton of jade slivers. But I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this stream good here. And I'm going to go work on some other stuff. But it's been fun to play through some Super Adventure Box and to also get some achievement points along the way. But I really hope you all enjoyed watching. And I hope my allergies get a little bit better. But thank you all for watching. And have a good one, everyone.